Hello everybody, welcome to Assassin's Pride episode 4 Anime Review, as they say in some other country, not this one, I don't know. In this episode, what happened in this episode? Allow me to glance at my notes because it's late, this episode review is late, because I don't know if you're aware, but today there's this thing called Halloween on, and my door has been knocking non-stop, boom boom boom, give me some sweets please, and I'm like, no, you can't have any sweets, or candy, if you're American. So yeah, that's why it's late. Felt the need to explain that. But yeah, this episode, it was another one of them set-up-y episodes, weren't it? Like in the grand scheme, I mean, they established the tournament arc. Is it a tournament arc? It's sort of a tournament arc. We'll call it a tournament arc, and basically got the teams. Then there's some stuff going on in the background as well with Kufa and the Flame Lady, whose name I do not remember. But anyway. Let's get on with the episode and see what went down and everything. Let's do this. The episode begins with a dream sequence with little Ellie crying. She was attacked by a wolf, saved by Melida, who just had a bat. Not even a bat, what was it? It was like a big stick. Like, despite not having any mana, she fought off that wolf. Like, realistically, that wolf should have eaten them both. Like, there is no way it should have been beaten off by Melida. But, you know, whatever. Basically, this dream sequence, we learn those two are very close. They're like sisters. I think they're actually like cousins. Maybe they are sisters. But they were very close. That's basically what we learned from that. And in the present day, she's doing the same thing. She's clinging to her and everything. Also pretty funny, Rosa is clinging to Kufa, and he's having none of it because he's Kufa. He's edgy protagonist number 17,003. The head maid's coming along with them. The head maid, I think, was the same woman who last week was trying to like be controlling towards Lil Ellie. I can't think of a funny name for her, but we'll work on it. And then, you know, so she's there, and you can immediately tell looking at her, she's going to do something bad. And she does do something bad, but we'll get to it. So Melida asks to join Ellie's crew, but she doesn't get an answer because people keep cutting her off. There's that dickhead who cuts her off. I think her name's like Nerva, and I should probably learn her name because it looks like, unfortunately, she's going to be a somewhat, you know, important character. So there's that. There's a tournament arc coming up, as what we learned. The Lunar Lambrini, or whatever it was called, tournament. 7 days to decide the winner. There's other school involved as well, and some girls from that. They introduced like a bunch of characters, tell you their names and everything at this point, and I'm like, I can't remember all your names. I've barely grasped the main four. Like, don't throw so many characters at me. But yeah, the two representatives, I guess, from the school are both Melida and the other one, Ellie. And at this point, I don't blame everyone for being annoyed, because if I saw that, I would be thinking, this is rigged. This is clearly fixed because they're like big deal and all that. Like, I understand what I would be like that. So like, and turns out, it was rigged, but we'll get to that a bit later on. The old lady explains the rules of it. She said it was like a it was a round-robin battle royale. And I'm like, how does that work? Because battle royale implies it's a free-for-all. But if it's a round-robin, then like, surely round-robin is you face everyone once. But if it's a battle royale, then it's all at once, right? Or am I just overthinking that? But that's my interpretation of what she said, which doesn't make any sense. So, who knows? They get the teams of 3. On Melida's team is Nerva, that's the dickhead, and some other girl that they mentioned earlier. She's like a big deal. I can't remember what her thing was, but she's sort of a big deal, and she's signed up just, I guess, so she has a place. Everyone, of course, as I said, thinks it's rigged and that Melida did it somehow, which bit harsh, you know. I mean, she's not talented enough to do that. I'll say it as it is. But good old Kufa is like, I'm on your side, I believe you. And then he quotes Gurren Lagann. He's like, believe in the me that believes in the you. Your hair will pierce the heavens with drills, and other Gurren Lagann quotes. They are very good. Let us continue on. So the squad is practicing, and Kufa is a slave driver. He's making them keep going and everything, but then they go on break. Melida gets approached by a girl from the other school. She's got black hair, and she was like apart from the other group earlier on. I don't know her name. I don't remember if it was said. But then she gives her some advice, but it's like, it's advice, but it's like masked or masking something else. You know, it's good stuff. Later on, Kufa confronts the head maid, who we learn she fixed the boards to put them two on it, and she did it because she wants people to see that Ellie is so much better than Melida for some reason. Even though not Melida, the other one, Ellie, is just like, I just want to hang out with my sis. I just want to hang out. Melida says, it's like, hey, if I could beat Ellie in this trial thing, we're allowed to team up, and you just leave me alone, please, old woman. And yeah, later Kufa says, good job, and he finds some origami on the floor. It's the origami killer. References. I've got him. So he goes out into the forest even, and he meets that flame person. They say her name. I don't remember what it was, so that's not good. While that's happening, Ellie goes to Melida, but back with Kufa and that, just going to point out that's happening. Kufa, the organisation that sent them both, is doubting his report and all that, and then they have a little fight, and she's like, haha, this is your true colours. And he's still trying to keep everything under wraps. He's like, at the moment, I'm like a tutor, I can't really, I gotta put that first, which makes sense, but I mean, you can tell he's hiding something. You can tell he's not being truthful, and that he's trying to blart his way out of the situation, basically. Back with Ellie and that, Ellie says, hey, I'll lose on purpose in this trial to let you win and all that, because, that's a thing. And Melida is shocked and appalled at this. She's like, no, absolutely not. Back to Kufa. There's like, it cuts a lot of this part. It's like Kufa for a bit, then them for like 5 seconds, and then back to Kufa. Rosa saves Kufa, and they fight together a little bit, show more of their tag team ingenuity. Just make them the tag team champions. Just do it. References, I've got them. And then she says, the burn girl, the one that writes with fire, she says, like, is that girl the one? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Is she Neo? References. I've got them. And then the flame words, she disappears as more people start approaching and everything. And Rosa's like, what on earth was that? And he's like, I don't know what that was. And then Ellie, she's a clown class. We learn about the classes at this point. Don't remember we've already learnt about them. This seemed like a really weird point. They just listed them all. There was like Saber and Arch. I'm not going to do the whole thing. References, I've got them. I'm sure let's not make that a thing. After this episode, we'll never say it again. Let's do that. Clown class are basically, they know all the abilities from the other 7 classes or something, I think he said, which is, it's a pretty big threat. But yeah, then Ellie is like, I'm doing it for myself. It's not for you. I'm not losing on purpose for you, it's for me. Because I just want to be your sister forever. So, I guess the resolution, at least from that point of view, is going to be, Melida's going to be like, oi, Ellie, stop being a little, whatever. Whatever happens, and then she's going to beat her anyway. Melida's like, I'll beat you even at full force. And then they'll team up, and good stuff and all that. Anyway, that was roughly the end of the episode. I feel like I rambled a little bit, or maybe not. Maybe it's just I'm tired because Halloween, it's exhausting. But yeah, that was the end of the episode. As I said, I enjoyed it. It definitely felt like a setup arc. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the start of a new, volume. Is it a light novel? It feels like a light novel, but I haven't looked it up, so maybe it is a manga. I don't know. But yeah, feels very set-up-y. Other than them two fighting, Melida and Ellie, I'm not too sure what the end game on Kufa's side is, because this show, you kind of got two sides. You got like the Kufa side and like the underground, assassin stuff, and then you got like the Melida battle school, seen it a million times side, and they are very separate at the moment. But I hopefully they may not even really intermingle them. Like Melida's got to find out at some point, right? But I'm curious. Like, is Rosa's not a part of the assassins guild, I guess. I don't know what to call it. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what happens next. I feel like there hasn't been too much to talk about in this arc, but maybe that's just me. Or this episode. The tournament arc thing, I mean, it's not going to be a proper tournament arc. They're going to probably quickly go over each of the things, if you know what I mean. the matches. Like, here's the results of all the matches. I don't doubt it's going to be a full-on tournament arc. But yeah, anyway. Thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews, because there's a lot of anime in the world, don't you know? I will see you next week for another episode of this, and bye guys.